guys, welcome to another video on the channel and welcome to another track day. Yes, I'm kind of hooked on it. But today is actually one of the last track days of the year and I could not resist to bring the Mini out. And as you can see, we did a few small changes to try and improve the car a bit over Zolder. But as you can see, everybody is arriving. We have a bunch of BMWs here, so Dylan is really jealous. But we're gonna be testing out this car on a new track, so never driven here before. We are at the track, this Les Clastres in Clastres, and yeah, we're gonna try and have a good time. Now, changes to the car. So for you guys who know my wheel setups, this is actually the wheel setup from my MX-5. So the Mazda is now on its winter tires, and these tires are actually on their way out. So I thought, what a better send-off than put them through a track day to wear them out. Also, so these are 235 where we ran 215s last time. Yeah, don't mind the bumper gap, it's not really attached that well on the side, but it's a track car, it does need to. So we got wider rubber, hopefully we get less braking problems. Now for you guys who follow me on Instagram, you will have noticed, may have seen my story where I mentioned the front brake pads. So these were new before Zolder and are now already like 70% worn out. So I got a backup set of brake pads for the front. The rears were still good, but really excited to test this car out. Now as you guys can see, it's still wet outside, so hopefully the track dries up a bit, because this car has nothing, no traction control, no ABS. Yeah, so this could get sketchy real fast. Also, it's an open diff, so if we lose traction, we lose all power and all grip. So in a few minutes we'll have our driver's briefing, hopefully get some indication on how this track works, and then go out and get to learn the track a bit. But there are loads of cars here. If I look around, I have one Mini, Toyota Supra, Focus RS, M2, M3, some Audis. Yeah, I'm 100% sure that I'm gonna be the slowest car here, but we're gonna have fun anyways, so let's go.
Ik ga een beetje assisteren, mijn naam is Jeffrey van Hooydel. Ik ga een klein briefingetje geven, gewoon praktisch info, niet te lang. Voor te zeggen dat we dus niet op het grootste tracé gaan rijden vandaag, maar dus niet Mickey Mouse, maar er is zo'n Mickey Mouse stukje waar je afspelpunten achter elkaar. Die gaan we vandaag niet gebruiken, omdat de meeste van jullie rijden met straatbanden. En straatbanden op het circuit van Clastres is gewoon heel glad. Dus dat is echt opletten geblazen. Maar ik denk wel, alleen ik heb een beetje geluk.
So the start of the day, guys, they were cool enough to give all the new guys a run of the track. So everybody who never drove the track got on the track for 2 laps to just get a feel for it. So I'm just gonna guide you through the layout. So here we are passing the entrance of the pit lane to the left. So we then have a few S corners. You're coming out of a slower section. So this is actually an accelerating zone. We then have a corner to the left again. Still pretty fast corner, but then after this little straightaway you come to the tightest U-turn of the track. Mostly took this one in second gear because the car needed the power and was really struggling for grip to come out of that one. So then we have this straight section with like a long left-hander. In the Mini I did it top of second gear, top of third gear, and at the end of the day like fourth gear when it dried up. But then you have this really tight braking section actually when you come on and speed, with this tight 90 degree with like curbs left and right. Then we go to like some flat out corners. So here you have some straightaway, flat out to the right, and then you have a long corner you can actually take flat on the left if you really take it nice on the inside and let the guard go wide. So then we have another tiny straightaway with then the biggest U-turn of the track. So if you're driving this track, the only tip I can give you is to really try and apex it late, because it is actually trying to tighten up through the back. So you see they have like this little straight and then it tightens up again, and then you come onto the main straightaway so you can get full throttle. I think the Mini, the speed that we saw was like 160-165 kilometers an hour onto the end. Now at the end of the straightaway there is like a 90-degree turn, which is somewhat tight. The thing is, if it's dry enough you really can just cut it over the curb and keep a lot of speed going. Thanks Dylan for this tip. So Dylan is co-pilot here. So then we have another piece of straightaway that then ends to the slower section of the track. So here you have a 90-degree to the left, which is pretty tight, and then to the right, and then you pass the spectator zone. Spectators are on the hill on the left here. And then we actually come back to the entry of the pit lane. So that's Clastres. It's a pretty short track, pretty technical, but in the car, like the Mini, was perfect for it. So let's go into the first sessions. Now the problem was it was really wet, so you will see a lot of problems with traction. Let's go.
See wat Jolo zegt.
guys, actually it's already noon in this update, but quick recap of the start of the day. So it was really wet, everything was really slippery, the car, yeah, no ABS, no traction control, and an open diff meant that every corner the car was like doing one wheel peels and one wheel burnouts out of every corner. That was not ideal, but now the track is drying up. The last session, fortunately GoPros was charging, so I don't have any footage of that, but the last session was really good. Everything is drying up, so this afternoon we will be going ham, and there are a few cool cars to like play with. So we got one Abarth here, we got an, where is he? Well, there's an R56 here, so the newer model than this. The turbo one, so maybe we'll play with him a bit, but it's all in good fun. We're having a really good time and the car is doing amazing. Now, only thing we have found out is, for one, the front brakes are done, so we're gonna change them before we start running this afternoon. And one of my there's something going on with my rear brakes where the right rear is like binding a bit on the wheel, which is making either that wheel or another wheel really just block and slip under braking, which is really annoying because then the car wants to go sideways and it's a bit less controllable. But it's good fun and good practice to get to know the car even better. Otherwise the engine is doing amazing and having a good time. But now, lunch. So guys, this is what's left over of my brake pads. Good thing that I got a spare set yesterday. But the track is reopening, part is almost ready, and then we can go and head out again. Fender flare is on the straight.
Ah, which, do you know where?
The back straight on the right side, like somewhere in the middle.
The big straight?
Yeah, the big straight.
Okay. Shall I blast it?
Okay. Wordt tof en ook het is zoeken voor een beeld en dat het er ligt.
Or else you can do one lap and
Yeah.
tell me you can.
Okay.
Much easier.
Okay,
Yeah.
will do.
Kom op. Mooi stop. Kom op.
Vind je dat?
Het is juist niet op.
Te verre?
Achteruit. Kom iemand op.
Zij ja.
Ja. Kom maar wat.
Now guys, I do want to indicate that this is not something you should just do if you're on a track day. First and foremost, if you see something on track, go tell it to the marshals and ask them what you should do. Now in this case, they asked us to do a lap and see where it was, but because there was no traffic and we were way off the ideal line and we could grab it without leaving the car or like be in the way of anybody else, we just picked it up, and as you will see in a moment, the marshals will be okay with our action.
Yeah, we open the door and took it quickly.
Oh, okay. Good. Thank you.
Okay.
So guys, it's already the end of the day. We're stopping in 1 hour early because we just want to get home in time. But the car did amazing in the last couple of sessions. Now we changed the brakes so after changing the brakes really needed to be bed in really hard. So like after 2 rounds, the brakes were like going to the floor because they were getting too hot already. So let it cool down, and then it was amazing. Car did good. Again, big thanks to Dylan for helping out with the brakes, and of course lending us his tow rig. Now all in all, we have a long list of things to check on the car. Really excited to get started and to start planning out the next phase of the Mini. But in the next couple of weeks, we're going for some MX-5 content. So I hope you guys are excited for that, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.